What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Week 5 edition of the Prop Shop Show here on RotoGrinders. I am Brit Devine, fresh off the surgery table, not even getting sliced open, Chief. It kept me out one day. They couldn't keep me out 2 days. We're here on a Wednesday night recording this. What's up, my man?
Nothing much, brother. I'm glad you're all right. Glad you're back to bring the fire yet again this week. Told people on Twitter, man, they need to get in here and get a hold of this show. Money is being made every week, so I'm really excited to hop in yet again. Hopefully, we've got some props for the people. It seems like I'm starting to have a favorite category every week, and I do have a favorite category.
The field goals made, right?
Well, that's a staple. That's a favorite every week, but I do have a favorite category this week, and so I'm pumped, man. This should be a good show. Thursday night feels very yucky, but I'm still okay with it. And so, man, let's hop in. Let's help these people make some money. I'm really excited.
Yeah, let's talk Thursday. So we're on Prize Picks. I do have a couple of plays. I've got a monkey knife fight play for Thursday night we can talk about too. But Prize Picks is where we spend most of our time. I was hammering Melvin Gordon. He was 51.5. He's up to 56.5. So real quick, Chief, what do you think on that, at least for the Thursday night? Do you like playing bumps? Right, I got a bunch of Melvin Gordon earlier in the week, even earlier today. Now it moved up to 56.5. How do you handle something like that?
I'm hoping Melvin Gordon gets most of the carries. Like he should. I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying he should. I actually like him over 14.5 carries in this game.
Mm-hmm.
That actually became kind of my favorite. So Javonte Williams last week, I had him over 13.5 carries, Brett. And he was on his way. I mean, he had 10 carries through 3 quarters. And just freak accident gets hurt. And now we've got Melvin Gordon without Javonte, who should pretty much be the lead back. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be out there 100%. I mean, Brett, I'm thinking 70%, 70, in the 70s.
He doesn't fumble again.
So if that's the case, when I saw 14.5, I got really excited. I said, man, I think, I think that was going to be a good prop for me. How do you feel about 14.5?
I think that's good. I think there was a quote where they said he's expected to be obviously the lead guy, right? They're just signing some guys off the street to come in there. And even though he had that big fumble last week, they're expecting him to just come in and be the lead guy. I'm fine with that 14.5, especially if I was playing I was getting 51.5 rush yards. So if I didn't want to play the rush yards anymore, I think that 14.5 is a fine prop. What else do you like for Thursday? There's a couple. I'll throw you a couple I was looking at. I'm looking at Judy 49.5. I like the over on that one. Basically, in his 2 full games when he wasn't injured or basically recovering from injury, he's gone over it. I think that's a pretty nice line to be able to get him. And I like the Paris Campbell line. I saw Grant was on Scores and Odds, and I tend to agree with Grant's analysis. The 20.5, I think it's 21.5 on Sportsbooks. He's just a little too low for, he had this fluky game against Jacksonville, but he's gone well over this in 2 games. It doesn't take long for him to get as pretty, not an every snap player, but pretty close to it. Over 20.5 receiving yards. They're without Jonathan Taylor. I think they're going to pass the ball a little bit more this game, Chief. Call me crazy.
Yeah, essentially they should. But here's and I'll go ahead and give you my favorite prop from this game. I've been sticking with this approach all season so far. Heading into week 5, I'm not going to change. So the Denver Broncos, love them or hate them, giving up about 170 passing yards a game. I'm taking the under on Matt Ryan at 233.5. Like, I don't care how much they have to pass the ball. What's that?
You just think it's too high of a number against the Broncos.
I do. Derek Carr, for all intents and purposes, had well under this number, I think, last week. I don't know, 205, 230, 210, whatever. But Derek Carr came in at like 260. So I get the differential. But, there's a formula. There's a reason why teams aren't throwing on them as much. First of all, teams don't have to because Denver's not scoring enough points. So they're not pulling away from you where they have to just throw the ball all game. They can stick to their game plan because Denver's not scoring 30 points a game and making you pass. Secondly, they're playing complementary football. It just looks really bad. So they're going to run the ball and they're going to throw the ball, and Russ is going to have play action, and they're going to try to control the clock. And so as a result, a lot of quarterbacks aren't going to have time to push the ball down the field. I haven't seen Denver get out on a team yet this season. I'm not expecting that against the Colts. So at 233.5, I'm under there. And I talked about Gordon. I'm going to go ahead and rattle off my Thursday plays since we're on there. My next one is Russell Wilson. I'm taking the under at 247.5 pass plus rush yards. So, and I'm getting a bit of a reverse discount there. Russ's passing yards, if I'm not mistaken, are around 235, 225. And his rush yards are around 13. That's at 238. So I'm getting an 11-yard difference. And so I'm just going to take the 247 and take the under. Like, especially if he ends up not running as much this game, because Russ isn't a quarterback that's going to rush for 20 yards every game. Like, it's going to be sporadic. It's when things are breaking down and he just happens to take off. But he's not choosing to take off like a Kyler Murray, like a Josh Allen, like a Jalen Hurts. He's not those guys. It's just it's within the flow. So at 247.5, I'm on the under, and then Brit, of course. Just go ahead and click field goals.
McManus.
Picking our boy Brandon McManus.
Yep.
Over 1.5. Those are my top 4 props. My third prop that I actually like just as much as these, I can't run it in the build because it's against the team. So I like the Broncos defense over 2.5 sacks.
Mm-hmm. But you
I like them over 2.5 sacks. What's that now?
You just can't throw it in there because it's against
right.
You,
I can't throw it in because it's against him. The only way I could get away with this, I think, is if I ran the Denver props and then took a field goal kicker prop, and I'd have to take his. I think I could take his fantasy points to get away, but don't hold me to. I haven't tried that today. But the reason I love this prop, what if I told you the Indianapolis Colts are giving up 3.8 sacks a game currently, and we're getting Denver at 2.5? Love the value there. Matt Ryan's got his foot with cement on the bottom of him, so I like that prop. I think that's another good prop for Thursday night. If we can find some way to make it work, that might be one we make it work with some other things like NBA preseason is going on right now. You got a CSGO prop. You got you throw that one in with something else and some of these Denver guys to make it work. So that's one that I like. And maybe we can get a tackle prop. If we get a tackle prop tomorrow that we really like from the other side, then I think we can take the sacks prop, take the tackle prop, and that will make it work. So we'd have to get rid of the Matt Ryan prop. But those are my top.
Chief, I got an idea. Broncos DST over 2.5 with Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course, we could just get in with anything. Absolutely. Let's just get that out of the way, Britt. Evan McPherson is the play of the week until they take him down. Every week. We're playing it every week until it comes down. It's the right play. Like, if you've been trailing this, Britt, and I know we've been looking at this week to week, and I think I just quit because you've been hitting. Hasn't he hit this 14 games? I think we're at 14. I could be wrong.
13
I think we're at 14 games.
I was waiting to see the sports books. They're scared. They haven't released it yet. So I'm waiting to see if I get better value on Prize Picks or on the sports books because I live in New York. I could do both of them. Right. So if it's like minus 130 or minus 140, I might mix it in on Prize Picks. If it's like minus 115, I'm more apt to do it on the sports book. I'm always trying to get the best value and things like that. But yeah, our boy Evan McPherson, they're at 1.5. You can add that to any bet you make on Prize Picks this week, in my opinion. So your Thursday build, I like that. I just want to throw mine in. I do like the Judy over 49.5. If you were looking for something to complete Chiefs build with, I don't hate that as sort of a fifth pick on Chiefs. I know you're going with the under on the pass and rush yards of Russell Wilson, but 49.5 for Jerry Jeudy. I think he can get there. I think that's a nice little that'd be my fifth pick in addition to yours, Chief, at least for Thursday. I want to go to what is it, Monkey Knife Fight, because they're paying out 3.5x. And I saw one, I got one earlier and they took it down, but there's another one that I like, Chief. I wanted to throw your thoughts on it. And that's, I guess you're on the under in the passing game. So I'm going to throw two at you. The Sutton and Pittman, 14.5 fantasy points each. Do you like that? Because, I mean, Pittman's the guy. Sutton's the guy. I know you like the unders in that. I was eyeing that. Do you see anything here you like? If you like the unders on the passing yards, you're going to like them even more. You already know
my favorite one. Wilson, Ryan, both under at 3.5x. If that's still up, because you know I record a Monkey Knife Fight video for Thursday Night Football. Please, guys, don't take it down. At least let me get it up for the video. If you're watching this, could you hold that one up there and then, you know, so people can get on it? I'm with you, though, Brit. I don't hate the 14.5 on Sutton and Pittman. And here's why. Pittman may have 7 or 8 catches, 80 yards.
Yeah.
And Ryan,
neither of these guys need a touchdown to get that.
What's that?
Neither guy needs a touchdown to hit that.
Yeah. They don't need that at all. So I'm in on that. There is some Michael Pittman at 5.5 receptions on Prize Picks. I don't think that's bad. I am going to wait for his target prop to come out first before I try to attack the receptions prop. And hopefully it hasn't moved. At 5.5, it could move. So I'm just going to have to risk it there. I don't want to get in on that one until I see the target prop on him. And if he's moved to 6 by the time the game kicks off, then I'm just going to have to risk missing out on that prop.
All right, let's go. That's a real quick Thursday recap of some of the plays Chief and I are looking at. What do you got, Chief? You got anything else?
Well, I want to check. For some reason, I didn't write down the underdog side of this game, but I'm just going to go over it quickly. So Matt Ryan is at 233.5 on underdog. So of course I'm taking the under. And then Russ is at 249.5 total yards. So I'm absolutely taking the under there as well. So that I'm taking the under. We're still at 14.5 rushing attempts for Gordon. So I'm going to be taking the over. And then that'll probably be my 3 favorites on there. If I add in a fourth, I'm feeling like I would be leaning 5.5 receptions for Pittman. And then I know you like Judy. Judy's at 50.5 on underdog. So a yard difference, I don't mind that with a guy like Judy who's got, 40, 50-yard play potential, in one swing of the bat.
Yeah, Thrive's got some nice ones too. You get that 3.6x payout over there. So make sure you shop around on all the prop sites to get the best lines, just like you would on any sports book, hopefully. Playing, Chief, I've got like 8 sports books and 9 prop sites on my phone, right? I'm on here 24/7, but just shop around, make sure you're always getting the best line. All right, let's go to Sunday, Chief. There's a lot of props. I think I got 6 or 7 I like. I got a couple game stacks I'm looking at. I'm going to throw out the 2 that I had on Scores and Odds. I put these out Monday night, and I want to get your take on them. I don't know if you've browsed Scores and Odds yet. I'm on Pierce rushing yards over 60.5, and your boy James Robinson. I'm willing to take the over on 59.5 against the Texans here. I know they're horrible against the rush. Pierce had his breakout game. He's over this in his basically he's over it since he got the full-time starting role. And Jacksonville gave up like 200 plus yards to the Eagles last week. The Pierce line is definitely low. He's up to 68.5 on underdog. The actual prop on the sports books isn't out yet, but I would expect it to come in closer to 70 than 60. And Robinson is probably going to come out pretty close to this, but I just think against Houston as a big home favorite, I just think he's going to run all over Houston. Houston's allowing 170 yards plus on the ground. If they're going to run that much, Robinson's going over 60 pretty easily.
Yeah, man, for sure. I absolutely. So Britt, I know you can't. I know you can't completely see my notebook. I do have a notebook where I write this stuff, so I know what I like to talk about. What if I told you James Robinson is literally my only rushing prop right now? And I do like Pierce as well, but like he's the number one guy this week.
Oh yeah,
at 59.5 against this defense. And Jacksonville's playing great, Britt. Like, yeah, they lost to the Eagles. They're a young team. They're up and coming. Doug Peterson has them playing well. Doug Peterson wants to run the ball anyway. He doesn't want to throw the ball 35 times a game. He wants to run the ball. James Robinson, my top rushing play of the week, my only play of the week on my sheet currently. This is a big time play.
Add Pearson, Chief. Thank me later.
Yeah, I'm gonna have plenty of Robinson, and one of my top plays of the week.
All right, so I like those. What else are you liking in terms of props on Sunday? I got a lot of receiving yards and I got a couple pass yards. So let's see what you like.
Passing yards is my favorite category this week. My absolute favorite category. I'm on passing yards. And Brit, don't look now. I'm taking a lot of unders this week. I love
overs, so I'm an over better for sure. So we'll see what we got here.
A lot of unders. So I'm starting to kicking it off. I already talked about Matt Ryan, right? Under 233.5. That's Thursday night. Sunday, Baker Mayfield, 191.5, facing the San Francisco 49ers. Baker barely got over our early week prop, Brit. Remember last week he was at 190 against Arizona, who's giving up tons of yards through the air. There's no way I'm taking Baker over against the San Francisco 49ers, who are just demolishing teams right now. Baker hasn't seen a defense this good all season. This is almost free to me, Britt. I hate throwing that word around.
I've bet the Niners. I put it on Scores and Odds. Niners -6. This is a bloodbath in my opinion.
Listen, Baker under 191. He's the same on Underdog. He's not on Thrive yet. Baker under 191. Kirk Cousins. Now this was going to feel scary. Kirk Cousins 255.5, 260.5 on Underdog. Better line on Underdog. I'm taking the under. He's facing the Chicago Bears, and Chicago, believe it or not, is only giving up 160.5 through the air on the season. That's almost a 100-yard gap. That's a big enough gap for me to take the under. While their offense may be struggling, their defense is still playing okay. So I'm willing to take the under on Kirk Cousins at 255.5. I think we're fine, to be honest. Like Kirk can throw the ball. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Kirk Cousins, but I understand that, hey, he can move the ball down the field when the conditions are right. Once again, I'm going back to my same philosophy in terms of the Thursday night game. The Bears aren't going to pull away far enough for Kirk Cousins to have to push the ball down the field a tremendous amount. In fact, they may be up in this game. So I like Kirk Cousins under 255.5. I think what's going to help him maybe not have to push as much. He's at home. So if the Bears get behind, they're going to have to push it. He'll be comfortable handing off to Dalvin, handing off to Madison, letting them run. Okay, Kyler Murray. He's at 235.5 on Prize Picks, but he's at 263.5 on Underdog. Total.
Hit that middle.
So over there. But here's what I'm doing. I'm taking the under on Kyler Murray. I don't trust Kyler Murray to get it done. He's facing Philadelphia. Philadelphia only giving up 77 yards on the year. He picked up 277 against Las Vegas, 318 against the Rams. Both of those teams are giving it up through the air. 207 against Carolina. They weren't in control of the game, but Carolina's, in my opinion, I do think Carolina has a better defense currently than the Rams and the Raiders. And they were able to hold him to 207. I think Philly's a better defense. So I'm taking the under at 235.5 and the 263. And then now I'm going to my overs, Britt. Remember, this is my favorite category, so I'm getting them out. Joe Burrow, 270.5 over against Miami. Brady, 270.5 over. Carson Wentz might be my favorite over of the week. Over at 225.5 against the Tennessee Titans. He's at 235 on Underdog. Tom Brady at 270.5 is the same on Underdog. And Joe Burrow is 272.5 on Underdog. And I'm taking over. So that's my over. But I love these unders this week, especially Baker Mayfield. Like, that's my favorite under of the week at the quarterback position in terms of passing yards.
All right. I want to ask you on Russ is cooking with a ham sandwich and a bowl of SpaghettiOs. Is this Geno Smith for real? Because I sort of like taking Geno with both of the overs on Lockett and DK Metcalf. I think they're both a little too low. DK specifically is at 55. So if you're going to take like an over on Geno, just add in DK Metcalf, get a little same game correlation in there without paying the extra juice. What's your thoughts on Geno this week?
He's playing New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I do trust the New Orleans defense enough. I think his line is a little bit too high. And he's going across the country playing a 1:00 game. I don't like Geno as much this week, man.
Got the Saints on that London hangover.
Well, very true. I mean, I get it. I get it.
So maybe if you don't like Geno, I like what about DK 55.5? It's way too low for DK Metcalf in this. I don't know. I think Seattle, I believe Geno Smith is PFF's number 1 graded quarterback so far this season. It's tough to be the number 1 graded quarterback on PFF. He's playing pretty good this season. So I definitely like me some DK Metcalf. I like the Geno. There are a couple other receiving yards I'm high on this week. I've got so many cards in. I got to go scroll through everything that I've got here. So Tyreek Hill is at 70.5, even with Teddy Bridgewater back there, Chief. Like these little low ADOT crossing routes, it's too low. And I noticed I believe he's like 80 something on Underdog. He's 82.5 on Underdog. Tyreek Hill at 70.5. What are your thoughts? This is against the Jets. Do you like Tyreek Hill at all?
Well, yeah, I've got my receiving ones written down. Tyreek Hill is a big one for me, a big one. And he's at 82.5 on Underdog, like you said. So I love Hill. Big time prop for me. Since receivers is your category, but I'm going to give you your category. We may have the same ones. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 receiver props.
You got CD Lamb?
Of course. Yes.
Yeah,
CD's on the list.
Yeah, CD has to be on the list. I was actually iffy if Dak Prescott was going to play in this game, but with Dak not looking likely to play, 64.5. I mean, he's ever since Cooper Rush has been in there, they're just force feeding him target after target. It's against the Rams. I got no problem. CD's way too low. You can see the RotoGrinder projection already at 82 on that one. So I like CD. A couple other ones I got. Let me see what I got cooking up here. I mentioned Judy. I was on him. What about the Steelers against the Bills here? Because they're going to have to throw. They got the rookie in here. I think all these Steelers receivers, we saw him come out and he was targeting Pickens, right? Rookie to rookie. George Pickens is at 36.5. That's one catch for this dude. He's getting all those high ADOT targets. Even Deontay Johnson's at 54, and you saw Freiermuth have that nice connection as well. He's at 37.5. Did any of the Steelers receivers make it for you, Chief?
Not currently. Buffalo's not giving up a lot through the air, and I'm going to take a wait and see approach with Pickett before I hop in. So if that means I have to get,
I can respect it.
Yeah. If that means I have to see a bump next week, I'll take it. Like I'll wait for the bumps. Because I also want to see what happens with Deontay Johnson in this offense, right? Because he's a guy that was getting double-digit targets essentially, and pretty much guaranteed 60 yards a game. Mm-hmm. And now we've seen a quarterback change. And I just want to take a wait and see because I don't know how this offense is going to look completely with him running the show. Mitch Trubisky still targeted Deontay, which was a carryover from Big Ben. I'm hoping it stays the same with Pickett, but I am not sure, and I don't want to risk it against Buffalo.
All right, what about the Drake 52.5?
I'm not on Drake either.
You're not on the Drake. I need to know who you're on then, Chief, because we've been on the same page and we're doing a lot of things different this week, so it's going to be interesting to see where you are.
Well, but the thing is, the plays that I'm just not playing them. I'm not like against them. Yeah. I'm just not playing them.
I'm paying everything and anything and everything, Chief.
Yeah. So for me, these are my top. I've got Terry McLaurin at 53.5. I'm lining that one up with my Wentz passing yards. I think Terry has a big game this week. Really like him. We were on the same with CD, on the same page with Hill. I'm going back. I'm going to continue to play Jamar Chase at 70.5 receiving yards until they bump it or he has another nuclear game. Last week, he still was able to go over with them pretty much giving him shadow coverage the whole game, trying to take him out of the game. He still went over this number. And what's happening is they are now allowing T. Higgins to run wild in the secondary. Teams aren't going to keep shadowing Chase and then letting T. Higgins tee off on them. That's not going to continue every single game. And if so, maybe I need to up my T. Higgins exposure, but I still think Jamar is a little bit more explosive than T. T's a bigger receiver, don't get me wrong, but I still think Jamar has the upside. So at 70.5, I'm going to continue if they play him at 70, I'm taking it every week, as long as they're in a pass script or a team that's giving up a lot of yards, and they're going to be in a pass script game.
That's Baltimore for sure.
Exactly. Against Baltimore, I'm taking them over 70.5. I feel like that prop is almost free. Last but not least, the most healthy receiver in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is Mike Evans, and he gets to see the Atlanta Falcons this week in a game that they need to win. It's a division game. I love Mike Evans at 67.5. I want to see what his target prop comes out as well. I will be looking at it, but that one for sure, that's another favorite prop of mine on the list. So for receiving, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans, all overs. I will say this. So CeeDee Lamb is the same on Underdog and Prize Picks. He's 63.5 on Thrive. That was one that they had up.
Ooh.
And then Chase is 70.5 on Prize Picks, 71.5 on Underdog. Chase is 69.5 on Thrive.
All right, I'm on Thrive right now. I'm making some bets, Chief.
Yeah, little bit of a yardage discount there. So yeah, if you keep scrolling, yeah. So CD 63.5, and then Chase is 69. So we're getting a little yardage discount there. Uh-huh. And so yeah, I really like those. And so yeah, those are my five. And then, but Evans is 64.5 on Underdog, and Tyreek Hill once again 82.5 on Underdog. Definitely want to get those on Prize Picks to see if they adjust it up.
Yeah. So again, shopping around, finding the best line, and on Thrive you get not only is the line better on those two, but the payout's better too.
Yes.
No brainer to have your Thrive account. And if you want to get access to the best bonuses, anything like that, you can just go right to the top of the RotoGrinders page. Go to the DFS sites. You can click on Thrive, Underdog, a Monkey Knife Fight, Prize Picks, get the best bonus in the industry, and you're able to follow along with all the bets that Chief and I have. It's a little Prize Picks is doing like this Flex Friday. I want to is there any sort? I like to do those
if they give it to us.
If they'll give us something here. I always like to do like game stacks. I'm definitely on the Geno over, DK over, Tyler Lockett over as part of like because you get that same game correlation with the Flex Fridays that they do, and it's an enormous in theory win if you hit one of those.
Yeah, and listen, last Flex Friday, man, I hit 2 big 15x cards.
Yeah, so these are
it was fantastic.
If they do that again, you got a particular game stack you might want to try to hit on that?
Let's see. Honestly, it's probably the Cincinnati game if I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to take Burrow over 270.5. Probably going to take honestly, I'd probably take obviously we could take Lamar, but I'm saying I would probably take T and Jamar over.
Yep. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, T and Jamar. And McPherson. McPherson. And that's the full game stack, and you're done.
Yeah, let's go to kickers again real quick. We mentioned McPherson.
Yeah.
And I know kickers, schmickers, but Chief, they come through for us every single week. You've got McPherson has been automatic, 4 for 4.
McPherson and Carlson is the pair this week.
4 for 4.
If we're going to power the kickers. So here, I caught on though, Brit. I don't know how they keep giving us McPherson, but then they take away. They did not give us Younghoe Koo this week.
They probably just haven't punched it in.
But I hope. But Koo, Carlson, McPherson, McManus, and then Graham Gano. Like those are to me, those are automatics every week. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to think about it. If they're on the board, they're getting played every week. Koo, McPherson, Carlson, Gano, and then McManus, because the Denver offense just stalls out. McManus would have hit the other week. He hooked one. So he just didn't make it. So that handful of 5, that's an every week affair for me, as long as you're on the board. And Chris Boswell as well, especially with Pickett there. Especially with Kenny at the helm.
They haven't given us the Bos yet.
They've given us Boswell 2 out of the 5 weeks so far. I'm very disappointed about
why. It's like the
I don't get it.
The sportsbook line is favorite. It was like plus odds on Boswell a couple of those times anyway.
Yeah, but we know better than that.
So keep in mind, more props get released throughout the week. Targets, the fantasy scores, right? If you're big into DFS.
Oh, the sacks, Brit, the sacks.
Yeah, you can get sacks. What are you looking at in terms of sacks this week?
So I know
you had the Broncos.
Yeah, for sure had the Broncos. Next up on the list. Now this one it's really more about how I think this game is going to go. I'm actually taking the Falcons 2 sacks this week against Brady. Brady's offensive line has not been good. He's been under fire. And I think the Atlanta defense has got 3 sacks in them this week. I like that one. I'm going to take the Dolphins over 2.5 against the Jets. I love that one as well. And then last but not least, and this one I think is a good one, a really good one. It's not going to feel great right now, but I'm telling you, I think this is a good one. Can you guess what? I'm going to give you one guess, Britt, and then we'll move on. It's closer to the top of the list.
Let's see. Doesn't feel good. The Browns?
No.
Bears?
No.
Chief, give it to me, Chief. I'm not going to spend the whole name.
I'm going to take the Titans at 3 against Washington. Even though I love Carson Wentz passing, this man will take some sacks. Okay, so I like that one. That's my handful. If you guys want to kind of know, and sometimes I will game script these, but Washington is giving up 4.3 sacks per game. Britt. Cincinnati giving up 4 sacks per game. Who else here? Sorry, my computer froze. But at any rate, that's what I'm doing this week.
All right. I think that's you got anything else? I mean, the Prize Picks board is absolutely loaded. We got basketball coming around the corner. This show, we're going to continually focus on football throughout the season. But if you are a RotoGrinders premium member, the NBA projections over there translate into making quite a bit of money over on Prize Picks, if you want to check that out as well. Other than that, Chief, are you there? I think Chief froze.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right. Yep, we can hear you.
You can hear me, but I think my computer just acted up. Like I realized I was frozen.
Too many tabs, Chief. Too many tabs.
Man, I can't help it. I've got to have all the research tabs up. I gotta have my spreadsheets out. You know, I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm frozen. Please forgive me.
Well,
I know you
luckily
can hear me.
for everyone, Chief, we got all the picks out that we were looking at. I hope you guys all crush it in week 5. I think that's going to end the show. Chief?
Yes.
It's been fun doing the show with you, my man. For week 5,
sir.
I'm Britt. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we out you.